Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Kushagra. So, kindly introduce yourself to the panel.
Sure. So I'm KUSHAGRA. I come from the city of Prayagraj in UP. I did my schooling in Prayagraj and I completed my graduation in engineering from Kanpur. Uh, After that, I worked for a few years in the private sector in data science. Post that, I decided to devote myself full time for civil services preparation. And since then, for the past 2.5 years, I've been preparing for the exam.
Okay. So, Kushagra, are you really interested in forest services, or is it that you're taking it alongside the civil services as well?
Uh, so actually, initially, I was not largely aware of the forest services, but when I started preparing for a civil services exam, I came to know about the environmental governance and I came to know about how critical the forest services is because it works at the convergence of ecological frameworks, tribal welfare, and even our climate commitments towards international organizations. So I initially developed an interest, and hence I am preparing for this.
Okay. So, suppose you get the forest services and don't get the civil services. Will you be a happy officer or a happy officer?
So I'll be a very happy officer. That is
Okay,
why,
why?
yes.
Why?
Okay. So as I said, sir, forest services is unique in the way it is framed, it is working. So it has ground level implementation responsibilities, it has policy shaping responsibilities, as well as it has responsibilities towards welfare of people who are associated with forest. So it is unique in that sense, and I think it will give me an immense opportunity to contribute towards society for that matter.
Okay. Kushagra, now tell me something about the importance and usefulness of rainforests.
So rainforests are present in tropical regions, and these are one of the largest uh, carbon dioxide sinks which we have, including the current Amazon rainforest basin. And these host a variety of biodiversity, which is unique anywhere in the world. Other than that, they are responsible for regulating the whole climate of the world by transpiration and releasing oxygen. So even one of the climate tipping points which we have is associated with the rainforest itself. So they are critical to sustenance of life on Earth.
Okay, tell me what is the impact of US walking out on the Paris Agreement upon the world environment?
So US walking out of the Paris Agreement is a critical setback for global climate governance. It is one of the top emitters of carbon dioxide. It is one of the largest technology leaders. It has huge capital reserves. So when US walks out, it deprives the entire world, and especially the global south, which are lacking in it. But again, this also presents an opportunity. Countries like India, China, middle powers, Europe can take this opportunity to take the leadership mantle.
Tell me, Kushak, you just said that US is the largest emitter of carbon dioxide, right?
One of
How
the largest.
many about? Sorry,
One of the largest, yes.
one of the largest, right? So now, how many times big is it in size as compared to India?
So in total emissions,
No, I mean in physical size, territory.
okay, territory
One
wise,
time, two
US
times,
versus
five
India.
times.
Okay. Uh, so I do not have an exact number, but
At
I can
least,
guess.
yeah, yeah, at least four times
Yes,
as
around
big as
five
India.
times. Five.
Five times. Exactly. Okay. So now tell me, when we say a country emits a lot of carbon dioxide, with that size of landmass, what are the chances that whatever is emitted is, neutralized by the forest cover, by the environment, by the wind, by the rain? What are the chances? Just emission is not an indicator. Emission neutralization is also important, na?
Right, right. I agree. So basically, yes, so US emits a lot of carbon dioxide. It has been doing so since industrial times. but their forest cover is also declining. So as we have seen, California forest fires are a regular feature,
Yes.
and those forest fires themselves are a carbon emitter. They have become a carbon source, net carbon contributor. And even they have started the campaign of oil mining, oil digging, which is again releasing more of carbon dioxide, which has been captured by nature. So in these sense, the captured carbon dioxide is also being released, and even the new carbon dioxide is being generated, which is a major challenge.
So, what is the latest position on the Strait of Hormuz and the conflict between Israel, America, and Iran?
So the latest position is that there has been a military pause. President Donald Trump has declared a 10-day pause during in hostilities, but tensions are still high. They are trying to mediate the conflict, possibly in Pakistan. But US is also sending their Marines and their military units. So it is ambiguous, but as of now, there is a military pause.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, Kushagra. Over to Shrikant.
Kushag, electronics engineer, preparing civil services, and now it ending giving a forest service. How do you look at this journey?
So I think the journey itself has shaped my decisions. So I started with electronics engineering, then I worked in data science, which is also a bit different from electronics engineering. After that, I went into civil services and now preparing for forest services. So I think the decision to appear for the forest services has been shaped by all of them. So, coming to the parts, so electronics engineering is critical in the modern technological governance of forests, which we require, which is seen in Forest Fire Alert System by Forest Survey of India and Project M Stripes by the NTCA. And data science also is critical in how we do data-driven decision making. And as for civil services, as I told sir, so while preparing for civil services, I came to know of the importance of the forest services, of how they are critical to sustaining entire livelihoods, entire economy of a country, and even of the world. So I think it is a comprehensive decision how it was shaped.
Yeah. And do we think that technology is going to take a lot of activities, be it governance or even an individual's life, you're going to take in next decade?
So I think in the next decade, a lot of changes are going to happen in governance, policy, and administration. But these changes will not eliminate manpower. Technology will augment the manpower we have. It will augment the decision-making capability. For example, we have implemented technology in direct benefit transfer, which has plugged a lot of leakages. We are using technology in forest governance. We have predicted forest fires, which have also reduced over the past 2 years. We are using technology in demarcation of land parcels, which is critical even in forest governance, as it is in agriculture. So I
No,
think
what
in the
I'm
next 10 years,
yeah, right. What I'm thinking was the we have seen how the India Post, it has almost changed, vanished. Like I can think I can even tell vanished. I think there will be people who may not have visited post offices. There might be people might find now in the present generation. Okay. Similarly, there will be governances because we'll have a startups and ecosystem. You need a thing, it is available. Of course, might be whatever price and all. Then okay, and some price it is available. I need a map, it is available. I need some with the coordinates. I will need some where a forest is there, it is available. Status of the health of the forest, it is available. There might be in the market that even that is available. What is the need for government to spending so many things, institutions? That is what my question. Do we need a different type of structure for managing these resources? Forest is a resource.
yes,
Do you agree to that?
yes, so I think as you said, so we have a lot of uh, data resources which are provided by technology, and the current administrative setup is pruned to how things work when technology was not available. So I think in that sense, there is a need to upgrade the machinery, upgrade the structures in the silos in which the administration works. But again, in the importance of institutions remains as it is, because AI or even technology cannot take decisions for us. The decisions need empathy and experience, wisdom, which is present only with humans. So I would agree that we need to reshape the structures of administration to take the most benefit from technology.
What is the precision agriculture?
So precision agriculture is an initiative under Digital Agriculture Mission. So in which we have a sensor fusion, we use satellite data to predict the quality of the soil, the need of irrigation, the exact nature of how much volume is needed, where and when. So what it does is it provides optimum amount of inputs, which reduces wastage and prevents the over fertilizer use.
In the present crisis of energy, how do you think we should continue with our schemes like midday meal scheme, or whether we have to stop the schemes or we have to provide some other alternatives?
So I think stopping the scheme can never be an option. On how to deal with this, there can be some short-term and long-term measures. For short-term, what we can do and what even the government is doing is that they're diverting energy resources from industry towards critical mediums such as midday meal school and households. Apart from that, what we can do is we can transform the entire infrastructure in the kitchens such that electrification can happen. Even the piped natural gas is being supplied to replace the LPG. And in the long term, what I think we can do is we can promote more of renewable energy sources over there. Like we can use solar cookers, we can provide some wind-based energy systems so that we are not dependent upon alternate external energy supplies.
Okay, my final question. Do you think the Forest Right Act, is it a threat to the conservation of the forest?
No, sir, I do not agree. Uh, Basically, so to further expound on that, I think there are two models of forest conservation. One is the fortress model, and the other is the livelihood-based, community-based participation model. So, from the British times till Forest Rights Act, we were following the fortress model, where we would exclude everyone from forests to conserve them. But what we have learned is that harmonious conservation model where we include tribals is provides better outcomes. And when we implement joint forest management committees, when we incentivize tribals to protect the forest, to be our eyes and ears of the forest department, to prevent poaching, illegal felling, then forests are conserved in a better way. So I think Forest Rights Act is something which we need to use. We need to streamline the processes, but that is something we need to work on.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you, Deep. So, Kushagra, right? So, tell me, you have been a person who learned electronics engineering, but you worked in business analyst, then data scientist, and now you wanted to pursue forest officer. This is a totally a different field. Are you disoriented?
No, I think I would not say that I'm disoriented. So basically, how we move is that our decisions are shaped by our experiences. They cannot be in a straight line always. We always optimize what we have to do based on our own experiences. So when I moved from electronics to data science, I realized that my caliber was more suited there and I could make a contribution in that direction. Once I was in the private sector, I was able to make an impact. I did good work, but I felt that there's something other than money. There's more, I can have direct impact on society. So I decided to try for civil services. Once in the civil services, I got an opportunity, as I told sir, to know about the criticality of the forest services, of how it makes an impact. And that has shaped the decision. So I would not say I'm disoriented, but I would also say that I'm not rigid. So my decisions have evolved.
So, there is a organization called NGT. So, can you tell me about it and what was the recent case that you read about it in the news?
So National Green Tribunal is a statutory body It has been set up under an act of 2010. It is specialized in environmental litigation. The reason being that Supreme Court was overburdened with cases and environmental cases would have a backlog which was not conducive to governance. So that was the reason. Why I have recently read it. So recently there have been debates around the Great Nicobar project. So I got the chance to read about its decisions there. So
So what is your thinking about what would be the future of Greenland with the US intervention in it?
you said Greenland, right?
Yes, Greenland.
Okay. So Greenland is a critical puzzle in the global climate, energy, and maritime domain. It sits at the entry point of the Northern Sea route, which is emerging to the melting of Arctic glaciers. It also hosts a lot of critical materials, critical minerals, and oil and energy resources. That is why US has an interest in Greenland. But currently, the status is that it is being controlled by Denmark under a democratic arrangement. So in future, what I think is that there will be the continued control of the people of Greenland over its territory because it's a democratic world. Europe is also there, so I don't think there will be any military pushback against them.
So what is your opinion on this data being used as a weapon nowadays?
I agree. Since data is a new oil, there is a lot of things which can be done with data, which is leading to it being weaponized by different states. So, as we have seen, China does not allow the foreign companies to work there. US has restricted WTO from regulating e-commerce or any data flow. Even India has imposed new restrictions. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act came in to regulate the use of data. EU has brought its own GDPR Act. So I think data has a huge potential to be misused, but it is also the key to the future. Any technological intervention we do will have data as the input. So regulation is needed, and we need to safeguard our own data, its privacy against deep fakes, AI misuses, and all.
Just for a situation, hypothetical situation, hypothesis. So tell me if there is a situation in which uh, there is a allegation that you have harassed somebody, and there has been a social media video which is viral going on, and what would be your approach to that?
First, it depends. If I have really harassed, I will surrender myself. If I have not harassed and it's a deep fake or something, I would lodge a case with the National Cyber Crime Portal. I would file an FIR. I would submit the evidences which I have, and I will also release. If I'm a public figure, I will release a statement clearing the ambiguity that it is not me which is involved in this.
Thank you, Kushagra.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
over to you.
Thank you, Madhviji. Now, Kushagra.
Yes, sir.
So you're from Prayagraj, no?
Yes, sir.
What do you think of this name-changing business?
So I think the nature of changing names has both benefits and challenges, but it is the prerogative of the political arm. So as an executive, my opinion will not matter.
No, I'm asking your opinion.
Okay.
I'm asking you to take a stand that whether a name of a place should be changed or not.
So my stand will not be a blanket stand. It depends on the situation. So there can be a case where the name is a colonial legacy which has been imposed on us and which has been a memory of past injuries. In that case, changing the name can be justified to revitalize our own heritage. But if the change of names is causing disruptions in administration, it's causing increased workload, cost, and also if it is causing dissension in social sector, like social disharmony, then I think this should be avoided.
Who will take this decision?
So as I said, I think the political arm will have to take the decision.
Political arm is already decided that I have to change it because of political reasons.
So then the
There'll be no
decision will go on.
analysis, there'll be no study, there'll be just an announcement.
So in that case, even the executive cannot play any role in this. They have to follow the orders.
Right. So, if it is a wrong order in your service, any service you join, will you follow it of your superior or your minister?
So again, it would depend. If the order is such which is clearly against the conduct rules, against the law, against the constitution, then I will have to raise a flag. I will have to highlight it to the upper higher authorities. If they reconsider, then it is good. If they do not reconsider and the order which is there, it does not satisfy my conscience and I will not able to live with it, then I may abdicate myself from that position or I may even resign. But if the order is there which is not against the provisions and it is only against my own personal thought, which might be subjective, then I will have to reconcile because
Okay.
my position is not there.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.